artist, a singer, a songwriter, a producer, a scholar, a father, an activist, an artivist. Is Aloe different from Nathaniel? You know, not really. Aloe is who I am, and if you knew me when I was 15 and before, you probably call me Nathaniel. If you knew me after 15, you call me Aloe. And now it's a unified individual who is trying to use his voice and talents to make some small change, positive change in the world in whatever way I can. Rapping is my first love, and I'm a big hip-hop fan. I grew up in the hip-hop culture, but I wasn't really inspired by hip-hop that was manipulated by the marketplace, by the capitalist influence on the culture. So I decided I'd focus on using my talents and my skills as a songwriter in a different way to touch people's hearts and to approach subject matter that hip-hop often doesn't approach. So it was a process. It took some years to develop as a singer, but it just, I think to my credit was the right decision, because since I've made the transition, I think I've been able to affect more lives in a positive way as a vocalist than I was as a hip-hop artist. My wife is Australian. She was raised in Australia. She was born in Mexico. Oddly enough, just a few hundred miles away from where I was born and a few weeks away from when I was born as well. But her parents moved all the way to Australia when they were looking for work and for a new place to live. We met when she interviewed me for her radio show and then for her television show. We kept in touch and became friends, and over time developed a relationship, and we've since had 2 children. And fatherhood, it really adds a new perspective to how I operate as a musician. I mean, even before we had kids, I would always think about what legacy I was leaving for, my family. But now, having children really makes it much more real, and I have to consider almost everything that I do in terms of my family first. How much time I spend away from home, what kind of music I write, and who I write music with, and then the way that I can affect the landscape of media, from television and film to music, and how the way that I can affect media will eventually affect my kids, their kids, my niece, my nephew, everyone else's children. I haven't had a chance to have any Kenyan cuisine. That's tonight. Tonight is going to be the home-cooked meal that I am going to finally get to enjoy, and I'll let you know after that. But I guess I'm decent in the kitchen. I don't really follow recipes. I guess that's the artist in me. I will just kind of look at what's available and create something out of what's left. As a father, free time really comes down to spending time with my kids. Maybe taking my young ones to the park, dancing and singing songs. That's always a good thing. My 2.5-year-old can already recognize musicians by voice, and name songs after the first, few beats, which I guess is to be expected from a child of musicians, but I think it's a special thing. I think it's important that we've been teaching her about music, but also teaching her that there are creators behind the music. It's not just sound coming out of the speaker. When she hears Michael Jackson's voice, she'll say, that's Michael Jackson, or Bob Marley, or Stevie Wonder, or Ray Charles, or Nina Simone, or Aretha Franklin, or Sade. She knows these people. She sees their faces, she recognizes them when we go out. If she sees a picture of Bob Marley, she knows who it is. So that's sort of the way I like to spend my free time, is hanging with my family, educating my kids. If you want to make music, then make music. If you want to be a star, that's a whole different thing. But I would suggest just make music, be an artist, and have fun. If you can't make money at it, that's okay. Find a job. But have fun making music, because nobody's going to care if you're not having fun. If you're just trying to be a star, people will only care for a little bit. Malaria No More is an organization that I work with to help spread awareness about the conflict that we have in today's society with malaria. It is a disease that 100% can be eradicated within our lifetime. My parents are from Panama. Malaria was a huge problem, a couple of centuries ago. But over time, and earlier in the early 20th century, the U.S. government, because they wanted the canal built, had to come in and make sure that the workers weren't dying from malaria. So they invested in infrastructure and medicine. There are many, many countries around the world today where malaria is still a huge problem. And I think with a concerted effort of philanthropy from everywhere around the world, but also direct action from governments to increase infrastructure, to increase awareness, to increase the mosquito nets, we can control and eventually eradicate. Hi, this is Aloe Blacc. Keep reading Nairobi News and watching Snappy 7.